Hello! Sitting behind me right now is a pile of the most viral products on the internet's favorite makeup of all time. And I feel like lately I've been trying a lot of viral products in my videos. So I figured I needed to sit down like once and for all and tell you what is worth it and what is not. So we're gonna be doing a tier list today. So I can tell you which products were worth it and which ones I feel like the internet lied to us on, okay? Let's jump in. First things first, we need to walk through the categories on our tier list today. So we will start off with the tip top category, like the best ranking any of these products can get today is the yellow category called Worth the Hype. This is where I'm gonna put the best of the best, the products that I'm like, yup, I get it, so glad I picked that up, deserves all the attention, okay? The category slightly beneath that is for the products where I'm like, yeah, no, these are good. Maybe we were a little bit dramatic about them, but like, I don't regret it, okay? So this category I'm calling, I'm impressed. That's like, oh yeah, I like that. That's a good product. We also needed a middle category for the products where I'm like, oh, that wasn't horrible. But again, I don't get the hype. It's really just an average product. So we're calling this one, it's average. And then the last two categories, the pink and the more purpley category, are for the ones that let me down. The ones where I was like, okay, what is going on here? Why are these so buzzed about? So we've got I don't get it. These are for the ones I was kind of disappointed by. And then the very last ranking is called They Lied to Us. That is for the ones where I'm like, what is going on? Okay, what do we have? Oh, this, okay. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. The internet loves this because it's incredibly similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This also comes in a nice range of shades. It does retail for $14, which is pretty pricey for a drugstore. But here's the thing, it does what it needs to do. I think that it lived up to the hype. I think it fulfilled my expectations. I can't say it exceeded them, but like it is a good product for what it is if you're into this glowy type of finish. So I'm gonna put it in the I'm impressed category. I think that makes the most sense for this product. Okay, what's next? Oh, okay. New to me, let's talk about the Tower 28 mascara. You saw me testing this out for the first time on camera recently, and my comments were all like, let me know if it flakes, let me know if it smudges. It does. It does both. It flakes and it smudges. It doesn't do them terribly, but it's enough that I was kind of like, oh, I really wanted to love this even more because the finish that I get from this, like I'm wearing it in my lashes right now. My lashes look incredible and you can't tell me otherwise. Like they look great. They are separated, they're lengthened, they're volumized. Like if they could look like this the entire day, this would be getting a 10 out of 10 for me. But because I get a little bit of flaking and a little bit of smudging, I'm trying to decide. I'm like, is it average? Or am I impressed? I'm gonna say I'm impressed because the times that I've had flaking and smudging are the times where I've worn it for a super long time and I've been out and about, but still, come on. You know, I've got drugstore ones that don't do that. So what I have found that I like doing this with is wearing it and then pairing over top of it, either a tubing mascara or something that I know won't smudge and budge because it's gonna move around, so. The volume, it's like some of the best results I've ever gotten from a mascara, but I just get a little flaking and a little bit of smudging. Okay, this from Persona Cosmetics. This is the blush stick. These are called the multi-sticks. These come in a blush formula, a highlight formula, and a bronzer formula. I really don't like any of the above. I'm so sorry. The problem that I run into with this, it disrupts my foundation. But I feel like the shade Bubble has been all over the internet forever. Funny enough, these get so much buzz and nobody talks about the powder blushes. The powder blushes are better, okay? According to me, the powder blushes are so much better than the cream blushes. Also, at the time that I'm filming this, and I don't know how long it's going on for because I couldn't find it anywhere, but they are having a friends and family sale. I'm hoping when this video goes up that will still be going on. I don't know though, because I didn't see an end date anywhere, but you can get up to 30% off on the website if the sale is still going on. But okay, where am I going to put this? Okay, don't be mad, but I'm putting this in They Lied to Us. This blush is fine, like I can make it work, but 9 times out of 10, I regret putting it on because then my foundation gets really disrupted. I don't know what it is. The formula of this is just maybe like too emollient that it just makes anything on my base look bad no matter how I apply it. So this, they lied to us. Okay, a skincare one. This is from Peach and Lily. I love Peach and Lily. They are one of my favorite skincare brands, and this is what I believe is their most popular product, the Glass Skin Serum. So this is a niacinamide focused serum. It does also have peptides. My skin loves this stuff. Let me tell you, if you have dry, sensitive skin, Peach and Lily in general, I would highly recommend, or even their sister brand, Peach Slices, which is at a more affordable price point. They're both at Ulta. Love, love, love. This really does leave my skin so glowy. So I'm trying to decide. I'm like, I think this goes fully in the category of worth the hype. I was debating, I'm like, do I put it in I'm impressed? But for me, it's more than that. Like, I have used up more than one bottle of this before. I think this formulation is incredible. The entire line is beautiful for sensitive skin. So for me, this has been worth the hype completely. Let's talk about the r.e.m. concealer. Okay, so when this launched, I felt like I could not escape this on the internet. It was a really exciting launch for 2 reasons. One, because the shade range is phenomenal. They launched with 60 different shades of concealer, but I was also excited to see that it was a cream in a pot compared to a liquid concealer that comes in a doe foot. That's what we see more frequently, but I'm excited to start seeing a push into cream formulations for concealer. I think they can be a little bit more versatile because they're really great for spot concealing other areas of the face in addition to the under eye. So anyways, all that long rant to say, I don't like this. This looked so bad on my under eyes, and I feel like so much of the hype that I saw from this was on TikTok from a lot of creators that are quite a bit younger. And I am now 30 and my under eyes definitely get a bit dry. And this is just not my friend. It emphasized the dryness. It would separate horribly. So for me and my under eyes, this is such a horrible formula. I don't mind it for spot concealing, and that's why I hang on to it, because if I have like an acne scar or something, I think it's a really convenient product to touch up. But for an under eye concealer, for me, this is horrible. So I'm putting this in. They lied to us. Let's do another Tower 28, shall we? Let's talk about the cream blushes. So I have 2 of these. I have Magic Hour and Dream Hour. One is more nude and one is a brighter, almost bubblegum pink. So this formula, I think, looks gorgeous on the cheeks. It's an incredibly emollient, hyper dewy finish. It looks very realistic, very natural. I just don't find the longevity out of this that I'm after. I guess for me, it's kind of similar to the Tower 28 mascara. When I initially apply it, it's gorgeous. It's just not gonna last all day. Same for these blushes. That being said, I can't say that's unusual for a cream cheek product, but occasionally I find that these can fade almost a bit patchy. Not terribly, but I do notice a little bit of that. Enough to keep it out of the top 2 categories for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the it's average category. Like, it's fine for a cream blush, especially if you like that super dewy finish. It's a very user-friendly formula, easy to work with, but it did not like knock my socks off, you know? It's a pretty cream blush formula. That's all I've got. A better cream blush formula where I don't think the internet lied to me is this one, the Rare Beauty blushes. I now have 2 of these. I have a full size in Bliss and a mini in Hope. These are great. I didn't think these could live up to the hype just based on the way that you can't seem to escape these on the internet. But I think this is a really beautiful, very flattering, high pigment formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Rare Beauty blush into the worth the hype category. I think in general, I've been really impressed by the price point of Rare Beauty, even Tower 28. Those are 2 of the most inexpensive brands at Sephora. And even though I've just put 2 Tower 28 products kind of lower down on the list, I still think for the price that they're offering their products at, I've been really impressed with the quality. And definitely same with this Rare Beauty blush. Okay, the Sol de Janeiro sprays, I have to put these in 2 different rankings because one is going to be much higher than the other, but I have 2 of the body sprays from Sol de Janeiro. I have number 40 and number 68. So number 68 is a very like musky, powdery, fresh scent, incredibly similar to Cloud. And number 40 is a gourmand, a very vanilla fragrance. They're both nice, but for me, number 40 is one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. So this is easily going into the worth the hype category. I think this is phenomenal. I think this scent, especially for the really inexpensive price point, smells very luxe and complex. But number 68, I don't know. I kind of regret buying this one just because. This is like a scent that is everywhere. I don't know. This is so similar to Cloud, which I know is similar to Baccarat, but for me, I don't think Cloud or 68 like fully dupes Baccarat Rouge. I think they smell a lot different. This for me smells exactly like Cloud. Okay, I said a lot different. I'm being extreme, but I don't think they're identical by any means. So for me, I think of this as like a Cloud dupe. And I just think this scent profile is so accessible these days. You've seen it everywhere. Everyone has duped this. And that's not a bad thing. I just smell it a lot. So I wasn't as excited about this one. So I'm putting it in the it's average category. Like I like both, but if you're going to get one, I think 40 is the way to go. That being said, this is still obviously cheaper than like Cloud or a lot of the other dupes. But I don't notice as much longevity with that one, 68, as I do with 40. All right, the Hourglass Holiday Palettes. These are the Ambient Light palettes. I reviewed these in my most recent speed reviews, which wasn't like that recent, but I can leave it linked down below if you want my thorough opinion on this. I also did go pretty in depth in my first impression where I kind of broke down like price point of this, but these retail for $90. So this is a very expensive palette. You're getting 6 powder products here. These fit all over the face. Each palette, each of the 3 versions is a slightly different variation, whether it has like a certain number of bronzers and highlights and blushes. They're not even across the board is what I'm saying. Some have more blushes, some have more like setting powders. But for me, I really do enjoy this and I've been reaching for it very frequently. Personally, I don't find myself reaching into the setting powders as much because I like a pretty matte look from my powders. So these give you more of that airbrushed, illuminated, glowy, powdery look, which isn't always my preference, though I do find myself reaching for them. But that being said, I feel like I'm more so reaching into like these 3 from the palette, and I'm not using the entire thing, which was something I pointed out in my initial review, where you almost need to decide for yourself, like, will I use all 6? Because if not, it might make more sense to just buy a few minis of these or even full size. So that factor alone keeps it out of the worth the hype for me because I just don't know for me personally if this would have been worth $90. But I still think the formula is beautiful. It looks so nice on the cheeks. I think that it's incredibly convenient to have everything in one. So I'm going to put it in the category of I'm impressed. You know, I'm impressed with this. I like it. But I don't know that it like changed my life. Okay, this right here from Rhode, this is called the Glazing Milk. This is a very milky essence that I apply in my PM routine. I really do enjoy this product. It has a very like, when they call it milk, like it literally looks like milk. I have very dry, sensitive skin, and I can tell you my skin loves this. It just drinks it right up. It looks so plump and like hydrated after I use this. So I'm gonna say this goes into the worth the hype category for me. Perhaps if you're a more oily skin type, you might not notice life-changing results for this, but if you have dry skin, I'm telling you, your skin is going to love this product. Okay, another skincare one, but this is like skincare makeup hybrid territory. This is from Drunk Elephant. It is the D-Bronzi. Okay, I don't like the D-Bronzi. I'm sorry. This product, funny enough, the first time I like wore this on camera, I started the video and I mentioned that, or maybe it wasn't the first time, it was just one of the times I was wearing it on a video. I was doing a get ready with me and I mentioned like, oh, all I have on right now is the D-Bronzi. And someone commented, you aged 10 years putting that on your face. And I have to agree. I'm being honest. When I put this on, if you just apply this with nothing else on, it almost can look kind of muddy or patchy, and perhaps that's just because I have very fair skin. Maybe if you're not quite so fair, it wouldn't be as almost patchy like that, but I just find that this doesn't really fulfill a need in my makeup collection, you know? I know a lot of people enjoy this, especially if you self-tan and your body is tanner than your face. It's nice to kind of match them up. But for me, if I'm applying this on its own, which is never fully like on its own, like I mix this with another product, which is what they recommend doing. But even then, it gives me a little bit of a tan, if you will, but it doesn't look evened out. It just looks a little bit blotchy. You could also mix this in with a foundation if you want to deepen it up a little bit. For me, that's a better use for this product, but even still, I think there are alternatives that are a much more approachable price point that can kind of do the same thing for you. So I just do not understand the hype of this product at all. Like, the Be Goldie is a little bit better, but even still, I think there are other alternatives that are much more affordable. So I say skip these. I'm sorry. This is going in the they lied to us category. Like, I do not understand the hype of this product. Okay, the Kosas Dream Beam Sunscreen. So this is SPF 40. It has a bit of a peach tint to it. It's not necessarily there to be like a tinted sunscreen. According to Kosas, the tint is kind of to camouflage any cast, so you won't get a cast. So they say it's pretty adaptable, can work for a lot of different skin tones. I would say if you're even paler than I am, this is probably going to be too dark, because sometimes for me, I almost see a little bit too much of the tint. So if you are extremely fair, I think this is going to lean too peach for you. The thing I don't like about this is that it pills when I combine it with anything. So the only way I can get this to lay properly on my skin is if it's the only thing I have on. If I don't put moisturizer on, which obviously I still want to do like my AM skincare routine. If not, I want a sunscreen that's also going to provide me moisture, and I don't find that this does that. So I just find that it's hard for me to incorporate this into my routine because it pills so badly when I layer it with other products. And trust me, I have tried everything. I've tried it all, different formulas. It never wants to lay well without at least some level of pilling for me. So I do find myself wearing this a decent amount. Like, I will use this up because I like wearing it on like a no makeup day where I'm just running out the door and it's a nice sunscreen, you know? But I don't like layering makeup over top of it. I can't layer skincare underneath it. So it's just a harder product for me to use. So that's why I'm going to put it in the category of I don't get it. I feel like I heard so many people say this doesn't pill for them. And I don't know what it is, because I've tried so many different options beneath this. It doesn't matter how long I sit there before putting it on top, like it pills every single time for me. The new concealer from Tower 28, the Sunny Days concealer. I have mine in the shade DTLA. I really like this concealer at first. It looks so beautiful when I first apply it, but this creases on me no matter what I do. If I set it, if I don't set it, I've had suggestions to kind of apply it and then wait a bit before blending it out. I still don't notice a difference with that. Like, by the end of the day, this is so creased on me. And you know, it could just be my under eyes. It could be that maybe I'm a bit more expressive and like the way my eyes move when I speak leads to more creasing with this, possibly. I don't know. But I get more creasing with this than I do with other concealers. So unfortunately, I have to put this in the category of I don't get it. I just feel like so many people have been loving this ever since it launched. And I wanted to, based on the first result that I get when I immediately apply this, like it's gorgeous. But by the end of the day, it looks awful. Okay, the NYX Fat Oil Lip Glosses. So I've got the shade Scrollin, which is like a medium brown tone. First of all, it smells delicious. Smells like, oh, just got a huge glob came out. Smells like apple pie. Smells very fall in my opinion. I do enjoy this. It's a bit more pigmented when you compare it to other lip oils at the drugstore at a similar price point. I like that it has a big juicy doe foot on it. Like, this is a good lip oil. But I'm gonna put it in the category of I'm impressed. Because while I think it is very good, it's not my number one at the drugstore. And I think there are two formulas that are even better than this one. And they are the Yummy Glosses from CoverGirl. and the Milani Fruit Fetish lip oils. The Fruit Fetish lip oils are so, so, so good, and they just expanded the shades. They've got more like nudes and browns now. So while I think these are good, I didn't want to put it in the tip-top spot because I think the Milani ones are even better. Like, they're both great, but if I had to choose one, it would be Milani or even CoverGirl over this one. Like, those are 3 great ones at the drugstore, but I think the NYX would have to be my least favorite out of all of them. Okay, Fenty Matchsticks. Maybe not the most popular at the moment, you know? But do you remember years ago when these first came out? I feel like they were everywhere, and I still see them buzzed about a decent amount. I have the shade Amber Suede, which I think makes a really great contour shade on a fair to light skin tone. I think it's a nice like gray base to it without leaning too gray. This I would only use to contour. I don't think this tone is nice for bronzing just because of how cool toned it leans. With this formula, it's a bit stiff, so I don't enjoy applying it directly to my face. However, I don't enjoy most stick products directly on the skin. 99% of the time I'm picking it up on a sponge and tapping it out that way instead. But for this, best thing I can say about this is that it's a great tone. Like, I really like the contour shade here, and like they have a great shade range here. So that's like the biggest compliment for this product for me. But formulation wise, it's pretty average, if not kind of hard to work with because of how stiff it is. So I'm gonna put this in the category of it's average, you know? I don't think it changed my life formula-wise, but I think the shades that it's offered in are fantastic, and I really love the cool undertone of this contour shade because so many brands that launch like contour sticks are just bronzer sticks. I like this one actually can contour. Okay, the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balms. You see these everywhere. They're super popular. I have 3 of them, and I might shock you, but I'm putting it in the category of worth the hype. I think this is a phenomenal lip balm. That being said, I don't think you need to spend over $20 to have a nice hydrating lip product. There are a ton of alternatives if you didn't want to splurge on something like this. But if you were interested in it, I think this formula is incredibly hydrating. I love that it's offered in so many different shades. You can get almost a lip gloss effect while still getting the hydration of a lip treatment. These wear well, they don't feel globby. They are all different scents, which is really fun. This one is a pink sugar. It has a really subtle pink tint to it. I think these are really, really great. Like, I get why everybody talks about these. Whew! Okay, that was my tier list. This was so much fun. Let me know if you would change the ranking of any of these. I would love to hear your thoughts down below, but thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye!